Hello everyone. First of all, thank you for joining with me because today we are going to build the other things of this particular e-commerce website. As you see in our last part, we have been finished that entire homepage and also did so many other portions. But today we're gonna come up with other solutions. Now, if you are along with me for new on this project, you can just go with that repo and it will the link you will just get in the description. So now when you on the repo, you can just do one more thing, is that just clone that one, then take a fresh folder like your own folder. So I take an empty folder which is my build folder. Here I will open my terminal, and now you need to do a simple specific text, which is that git clone, and you can clone that. And also, if you're not familiar with that, you can go and feel free to start from here. That's the second part. Also in my page you will find that both parts are available here. Now, one of my well-wishers said why I'm just doing, because in my website, in my channel, you will see lots of e-commerce video, because an e-commerce video can land you a perfect and good job. Okay, I have other videos also, but I am focusing on e-commerce, and this e-commerce which I'm building right now, it will be a fully functional and complete full to have you all the solutions, because it's have the CMS, it's have the authentication, it's have the Stripe payment, and also we're gonna create the hooks in the lifetime, create the hooks in a real time, so that you can actually see the things under the hood. So we will try to build that. So now that's the things you can do. So for that, for the newbie, you see I just did that one. Even you don't want to see that last two build, you can just clone from here and it will work just a bit. And I'm going to show you what you need to do in extra. So let's put Alice and cd REBYT, and I'll open it inside my code editor. And it's just like that, it's open inside my code editor. Now I need to open my terminal and need to run one more command which will enable me to install all the dependencies of this application, which is yarn. If you're using the npm, you can run just npm I, it will install all the dependencies. If you're using the pnpm, you just put pnpm and run the command, it will do the same. So now, while it's installing all the dependencies, I will help you to see what actually you need to have. Now you will find one more folder, not the folder, one more file, which is .env. Okay, so now you need to have 4 things here to run till now, because we're gonna adjoin all other secrets later on. The thing is that you need to have this 5 actually, or 4. You can basically, I need that Sanity public project ID, datasets, API version, and API token for the Sanity. That's the configuration you need to do. Otherwise, your application may not run properly. So you need to do that. That will be very helpful if you can go through it. Don't copy the my one, because you will find it disabled and you cannot access it without login. So try to do it your own way. So now for your thing, just let's explore a bit. We have the source folder. In the app directory, we have all the pages and other things. We have admin and users separated for both on that, and then we have access, components, fonts, and these things you will be familiar. Try to explore a bit, and today we are going to create that particular page from the beginnings, that once you click any of the images or go in a quick view, you see there is one page is rendering with a particular Slack, and it's coming from the product, and you can just see it's a Slack. So now this thing is coming, and also you can actually show the product on sale. If you click, this product is appearing here. So that's the thing. And also you see the about this item, there is the little bit description going on. So we will try to do that. And also for the shop page, we will go with that icon and establishing, we will do as much as is possible, because later on, because I'm making it chunk by chunk so that you can understand it better and perfect way. Okay, so after finishing those designs, I will start building that store with the Redux-Toolkit, and then we will go through the payment user authentication with the nextauth, and we will create that Sanity we will create that Stripe payment later on, because it will be fully compactful. And don't worry, after the end of the video, I'm giving you out the code, so you can have the code, you can formulate it, and if you just get a little bit of creative, you can do a very nice job. Okay, everything is installed, or I will just get my git bash here. Now, to run that application in my browser, I will put that yarn dev. And that's it. That's the magical thing. I will just run my localhost 3000. So now application is running from the where actually we laid it. So now what we need to do, we need to create that page. Once we click on that quick view, it should take us to another page. Now it's taking us to the home page because remember we redirect that to the home page. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open my product card. So the product component, it will be here. So this is the product card. Now as you see, we are console logging here. So now we can actually ensure to show one more thing, is that what actually consisting that products. So right now what I'm gonna do is that console.log, and then I will just try to make that slug and dot current. It will be dot current. So let's see what actually we're getting in the particular send. You see all the specific slag related to that particular product is available here. So now with that slag we can actually get the products. And how actually you can do it, let's go to the Sanity to show you how actually you can go with the vision tab and make that one. Now here we will go with the vision tab. Now in the vision tab we can create a search query, so we can go with that particular slag to fetch the product. So now here we will type just a simple query, the graph query. So it will come with the type, and the type equal to, it will be I think the product, yes, product, and we will just keep that slug dot current, and that slug dot current we will put that our slag. So now we need to fetch one slag which we will pass here. So just remember, I will just get that cap for voice, so I want that slag to be fetch. So let's click that, and after keeping that flag, what I will do is that I want to get that 0 index value with that particular things, and I want everything from that particular slag. So let's click, and you see I have the details for that single slag. I have all the properties. So in that way you see the brand, raw price, and is new, and type. So everything is now defined here. So in that way I can get the query and fetch the product. So now I need to pass only the slag. So how actually I can pass that? First of all, I'll go in the user, I will just create one folder. A folder means, in Nextjs, a folder means a page, right? So it will be the product folder, and then I will create a unique page, like unique identifier on that page. So I will take another folder. You can directly inject the folder, no worry about it, it will work just fine. So that will be my identifier. So on the product /product, I need to just pass the slag. So I will create the page and RAFCE. That particular page name I will give that, like I will put that single page to remember those things that is actually working. And also what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna combine it in my container so that there will be a little bit nice design pattern here. So that will be my container, and okay, hit the save. So now once I just go over here, after that I will type that product, and then just type anything, and it will land in the single page, right, with that particular infinite slag. So you see we are here in the single page. So now we need to just create that particular link to interject with that. So first of all, I will come here. You see that instead of this thing, I need to make that slag to be rendered there. Remember, we're getting the slag from here, so I will just pass it here and it will just do the trick. And to implement that one, I will use the backtick, and after the backtick, not the backtick, yeah, backtick, then I will put that product, and after product I will pass the variable, which it will be a product dot slag dot current. So now it's gonna get me on that particular tab. Okay, so now here is actually you can get the things with that, or I can pass that with the path name. First just keep in that way, let's see we can get that or not. So let's click any of the product and Okay, still I believe we are in the right track, right? So it's in that particular page. Okay, because that page contain it should be only in the image. If I click in the image, yeah, you see that's a product. After the product we need to put a forward slash, so which actually we are missing, so it will be forward slash to just inject the router. Okay, now we'll try again. Let's click here and you see we landed here. So now we need to get that portion, that's like we need to retrieve from the router, right? Otherwise we can't use it. So how actually we're gonna do it? But first thing first, we can actually get it from there, like from the forums we are getting. So if we go over here in the Slack page, and here I want to just I just want to get the params in my log, so I will just put that params, and I will put that log to see my params, what I'm getting inside my params. You see in the params I'm getting the Slack, so now I can retrieve the Slack and use that in this particular page. Okay, and that Slack, what kind of things it will be contained with the Slack, like within the param. So I will just get the interface, which I'm going to define as the props, and I will just define the params value, what it gonna be. First of all, it gonna be a Slack, the Slack we are passing through, and it will be string. So now I will define that a props for the type definition, and I'm getting the Slack. So now I have the Slack. Now I can pass the query to get the particular product, and I will do just a simple trick to get that. So now I will pass that const query, and that query, of course, we will call the grok query, and then with a backtick, remember how we use that. So put in a star mark, and then then it will be the third bracket, and then I will pass the type. Okay, and the type, it will be equal to product, and we will pass that and that slug dot current, it should be equal to the slug we are passing right now. Okay, it should not be that operator, so I need to remove that, and that's gonna be the slug we are passing from that params, right? Okay, from the params. So I think we actually I can okay, I can actually modify that one in a bit before interjecting here, so that it can actually give me the particular slug. So to implement that one, remember, I can actually use this way also, it will work, but I will just comment it out because I want to make it more compatible way. So now what I'm gonna do, export const, and it will be generate static params, and it will be an async function, because the params we will wait to get it from there. And then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna write a query, and that query is gonna be the grok query, and inside that grok query we're gonna pass something called and it will be type, and the type equal to product. Okay, so now we are passing the type in the product. So from that particular product we just want to get the Slack, that's it. So now we are getting I think I made a mistake here, so it should be come over here. Okay, what's wrong? Okay, so now I am having that query to get back my Slack from that particular instances. Now here what I can do is that const slacks, and that slacks, for right now I'll just pass an any value on that, and it will be await, and then it will coming from the client dot fetch, and that fetch going to be happening with the query. So in that way it will just fetch the Slack in the server side and then pass it that to me. So now const Slack routes. So that will be actually helpful. Also, we are going to build all the pages. So in that way, it will just build the pages in the server side, and it will be very, very helpful on your generating an each and every Slack page. So if I have 20 Slack, it will generate at the build time, and it's very, very productive. So now for the Slack routes, and I will just make that on map, and for that map I will just put the Slack, and that Slack value is going to be string. Okay, and then I'm gonna pass something which going to be the Slack. Did I miss something here? Okay, first I need to define the Slack routes. So it will become Slack routes. So the Slack routes, it should be that slacks.map. So we're gonna map here, okay, not there. So it will be Slack, and we will pass that any value. So the Slack can be anything, or so then it will be Slack, and then we're gonna pass that current. And instead of in the const, we will just return that. So now we're gonna have that Slack value to interject here. So we are having that params. So from the params, we are getting that Slack value. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna just pass the params, and then we're gonna destructure to get also the Slack, and that Slacks we can use it now here. So I'm just gonna okay, let's remove that one. Okay, so now we can active that query, and here we will pass that query, because right now we are going to have our Slack, and whenever we are using in the grok parameter, we no need to use that $sign. So now we have the Slack parameter, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pass to get that single value, and then I will get everything from that particular value. Okay, so now I have the query, and also I can do one more thing, const product, and that will be await. And of course, once we are making that await, it should be async, and here it will be client.fetch, of course, and then we're gonna pass the query, and inside the query we're gonna pass that parameter value, which gonna be Slack. Now if I just going to log that one, let's log it. Let's see what actually we are getting. Okay, so now we're getting all the things related to that particular Slack, which we have that flower base. So now if we see go and you see the flower base, the title is available. So now we actually are fetching that particular Slack. So now we can use the product in everywhere. So now we can show the product in our this page. So now we are having that product. So I will just cut the console. And now what I will do, because there will be one more extra thing is that we're gonna have one sale product, right? So these things also we need to create, but first thing first, there should be like a 3D portion, okay, in our overall this product information and other portions. So right now what I'm gonna do, in that single order, I'm gonna take 3D. So 1, 2, and 3. So the first one, I will just interject one of that on sale things. And remember, we have some product which is actually going to the special offers query. So I will just get that query, because we actually created several queries here. So this query will interlink with the other products for the special offers. It will go for the product position on sale, and the ascending, it will be the order ascending. So we will get the products whatever the entitled with the on sale position. So now also we're gonna define here is that const special offers product, and it will be the similar way, await client.fetch. And remember, we all are doing that server side fetching, okay? There is no client side fetching yet. So now here, first thing first, we need to keep that on sale product here, okay? So now on that div, I will just try to create another, or I will create another component which going to be get that on sale product, on sale.tsx. Now rafce. So now our on sale thing is ready. So what I'm gonna do here, I will interject on cell, and now I'm gonna pass that special products. So it will be products, and there it will be a special offer product. So now we are passing that product there, and if we just come back again here, let's go back to the Arabi shopping in homepage, and if we click, as you see, our on sale components is rendered. Okay, so now we can actually start working on the portion of the on sale product things. Now what actually it gonna be? So if we just make our demo site, the demo one, you see that portion, it will be the on sale, there will be the image, and that the other portion, and we're gonna have that text. Okay, that's what actually we are going to create right now. So now let's go back to the on sale. In the on sale, we're gonna just get one h3, which will say us that products on sale. Okay, and for that one, what I'm gonna do, put a class name, text going to be Excel, and the font I will make it as semi-bold, margin bottom going to be 6. I will make it underline, and underline offset going to be 4, and also decoration, I will just put the decoration of 1 pixel. Okay, 1 pixel. Okay, products on sale available. What I'm gonna do, one more thing is that in the pages here, now remember, that's actually going to be predefined in a very magical way because we have a max width and height. So I will put a class name, and I will just make one my of 10 in a margin in vertical axis, and also in the div here for the first one, because remember it will be responsive for sure. So if we just go back here, and if we just go in the responsive tab, you see it's fully responsive. So we need to create on that particular fashion. So we will just go and follow the design parameter from the beginning. So first it's gonna be we're gonna take the full width by default, and then we're gonna make it grid. And also actually it will not be that one, I'm gonna make that one in that container. So this container, it's taking that parameter of the max container width. So I will just make it as a grid, and grid calls of 1 by default, md grid calls of 2. Okay, and whenever it's in Excel, grid calls of 6. Okay, so now we can break through all the grid, and then I will give a gap of 4, and height, it will be the full height, and minus empty of 5. Okay, now Excel minus empty, it will be 8, and the BG, it will be gray of 100, and padding going to be 4. Okay, so now we can actually work a bit with it. So in this layer, in this particular layer, I'll put the class name, and here what I'm gonna do is that I'll just keep it simple. Okay, so it will get the grid pattern in its own way. Or okay, let's go back to the on sale. Here I will just fetch the products, and that products, it gonna be combining with the product props. So it will be interface, and that I'm gonna pass that as a props. Remember, we have already one types which is actually defined. So this types is actually that products props. So this will be the types, and here we will predefine the types, and it will be array of products. Okay, I think not the products, it will be the products. Okay, so we are having our products. Okay, so that's the things. Okay, I think it's pretty much similar on that. So there is one more thing which need to be followed through. So instead of keeping that on here, I'm gonna keep it here so that it gonna work. So I will cut that and put a class name, inject here. Okay, so now we have that design. Now also instead of a py, we can do okay, what if my margin is 10? Is it taking? Okay, margin is taking. Okay, fine. Now in the on sale, let's go and click the other things. So we are now here in on sale. Now after below that h3, we're gonna also pouring the other details. So now I will just take a div. Inside the div, I'm gonna just go through that products dot. I'm gonna just map through. If I have that products, then I'm gonna map through it, and I will take it at the item, and that item is gonna be as a the product props. And now I'm gonna return. What I'm gonna return? I'm gonna return a link parameter, and I'm gonna get it from the next link. And here I'm gonna take a div, and inside that div I will get one image, and that image I will give a source. So the source, it will be URL4. We have the helper function there, and in that URL4 I will pass that item.image, and I will get the URL. That's it. And an auto tag, it will be that product image. Okay, and also for the class name, I will just put a weight of 24 object contain, and for the default, to make it this pixel clear, I will just make it as 200 weight, and height I will give it just 200. And for the link, remember, whenever we need to pass the similar fashion, so the link it's going to be href in the backtick, and here I'll pass it to product. Then I think it will be /product. How actually we pass it? It's the similar things, it will be there. Okay, that's the thing we pass. So we can copy it, either we can type it here. So it will be product, then it will be slag, not directly the slag, it will be item.slag.current. Okay, that's it. Let's hit the save. So now we will be able to see the product image if everything is going all right. Okay, it's rendered, you see, looks good. So now also in the top layer on that particular div, put a class name, and here it will be flex in the column. So it's still now in the column section, and gap I'll give a 2, and justify start, and height, or height it can actually get the full height by default. So be the gap of here. And after passing that image, so that's the image is done. What else is happening here? Okay, we have another portion. So this the image, and the below of that image I will take another div, and here I will take the p tag, and inside the p tag I'm gonna get that item.title, and also I'll make as a substring because I don't want it to be go out of that container, as it's just crashing a bit of tiny container. Okay, now I have that, and after initial of that one, I will just take this one, and here I'm gonna get the price. So now this price, remember, we created this price by keeping like in the normal session, you know, the $sign and other things, but I love to create the price in a separate file. So whenever we want to modify the price, like we want to make the $sign, or you want to put the pound or your currency sign, that is very easy to modify in a single file. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create another file which I'll give the name of that price.tsx. And now inside that price.tsx, I will just create my price function from where I can declare it as $, or any other things. So now here what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pass as a props of amount, and also a pass of the class name. Both things I'll pass from here. Now I will just define that interface props, and that amount, it will be a number, and that class name, it can be there or not, so it will be a string. Now I will define that one as the props. And now I will just make that price format, and it will take the new, and also it will interject from the JavaScript that number, and I will pass that amount, and that amount I will make it to local string. So whatever local I'm gonna passing for right now, I will pass that United States one, the $1, and inside the object I will pass the style. That style is like to getting that currency style, and also for the currency it's getting USD, and then maximum a fraction of digits going to be 2. So now instead of passing those particular parameter, what I'm gonna do, I will just take a span tag, and here I will pass that not the amount, it will be that price format, means the formatted price, it will be there. And for the span, I will pass that class name, remember. So I will take the backtick and I will just pass the class name. So any of the class name we are injecting here, we will just get it from here, class name. Okay, so now we have the price format, so now we can inject the price here very easily. So how actually gonna do it? Remember, we are passing it as an amount. So inside the p tag, I will just take the price and just don't forget to import it, and now I will pass the value with that amount, item dot price, and you're gonna see it will come with a particular $sign. Okay, there is the number, prototype, salary strings, option, property, style. So now that amount is not getting properly. Let's see what's going wrong. I think we maybe missed something. Let's go back to the price. Yeah, see, it will be C, not T, so it will be currency. I think that's what we missed. And okay, everything is good to go. We're perfect. So now I will just make some style on it here. So for that one, put class name text small, and of text small should be there, and tracking it should be tighter, and also font going to be medium. And for the price section, let's put some class name here, the text going to be SM, and font going to be semi-bold. Okay, and also in that particular tab, for the class name, it will be a flex column, and the gap it will be 2. And now let's go in the top layer of the div. Okay, let's use the save. Okay, now what actually is pending here to make it a side by side. Okay, so now from where we can do it, remember we have a div here on that top layer, or actually we can work it in the link, because that is the div for the image, or is for everything, yeah, overall the div. So actually in the middle, we no need to have a div. Actually we have a link, so we can work with the link. Put a class name, and then we're gonna make it as a flex item center, and the gap, we will pass the gap of 4, and also I'm gonna make it border bottom of 1 pixel. Okay, and border B, oops, I just misspelled so many things. So the border bottom, it will be gray of, give it a 300, and the padding in y-axis going to be 2. Okay, let's see if it's working. Okay, looks cool. So now we are having our cell. So if we just click on particular cell, it will take us to that. You see, it's already changed. It's changed here. Okay, so if I put in the laptop, it's changed here. Okay, so now you can also loop through it to find actually to like what you call that, you just extract that particular, whenever you click on that, it will remove, other three will be available. So you can do the trick, you know. So now what I'm gonna do, let's go back to the Slack page, because we need to create 2 more things here. So now in that div, we're gonna just put an image. Okay, and that image, it will be appearing from the next image. And first put the source, and that source going to be for URL4. Okay, URL4, and it will be what actually we give the name product. Yeah, product dot image dot okay, it's going to be okay. Why I'm not getting the suggestion? Okay, this product actually not having any properties, so it's going to be a product props. Okay, so now we're gonna have that suggestion here. Okay, image, that's cool, and URL. Okay, URL. So now we are having that product. It will be a product image. And also for the class name, I'm gonna give a width full, height full, so whatever is actually getting, it will be the similar way. And object contain, now we give height and width full, remember is in a parent div. I'm gonna put a class name here. I'm gonna give a height of full, and axle it will be called span 2. So it will take the 2 span. Remember, we have the 6, so 2 and 1, so it will combine 2 and 1, 3. So it will take 3 and it will take the another 3 for the Excel devices. And now for giving a clear view of that particular product image, I'll give a width of 500 and height of 500. Hit the save and you will see the product here appeared. Okay, just give it a little bit time. You see product appear. So now we need to create the other portion, and that other portion, because now here this entire page is actually now the server side. So now we will create something, because whenever we are clicking, you see we are adding a product, so we need to create the client side integration. So I will make it a separate component. Okay, so now let's go in that components. I'll create one, is that product info.tsx RAFCE. So now in that product info we can render all the properties. Now here what I'm gonna say, it will just take that product info, and also for that product info or it will just pass the product, it will be the product. That's it. And give a class name on that. Class name, height, width, it will be the similar. MD call span, it gonna be 2. Okay, and Excel call span gonna be I think the 3. Okay, by default I will just give a full width going to be full, so no column needed by default. And Excel, I'm gonna give a padding of 14. Okay, to make it looks better. Flex column, and gap it will be 6, and justify going to be center, not the between. So it will everything, it will be the center axis. So we'll see the product info right now. There will be something here. Okay, anything available? Yeah, product info. So now we will upload that product info with the details properties. So let's go here inside that product info. First thing first, we're gonna extract the product, and that one, it will be the type of product props. Now what I'm gonna do, okay, did we pass the product from here? Product. Okay, we passed the product, but okay, because we passed the product and there is no interface for that particular product. Remember how actually we get that product on sale. So I will just take this one here, so pass it here, and that one not be an array, just simple product, and I will pass that props here. Okay, it will not be the products, simple single products. So now I'm gonna make it a use client, because I'm gonna create that client side interactivity here. Okay, now how many portion it gonna be? See, 1 2 3 4 5 6 portion it going to be generate. So actually we're gonna have a 6 different individual portion. So first it will be the entire top layer of the div. Then we're gonna have an h2 which gonna generate of that product dot title. Okay, now here it will be the full title. So let's put some class name on it, class name, and that one it gonna be a text of 4 Excel. Okay, and font it will be semi bold. Okay, let's see if one is working, then other it will be also appeared. Then I'm gonna pouring everything here. So this product info need to be generated here. Okay, it's working. Also I'm gonna give it like a class name, flex column, and the gap of 5. Actually while I'm generating here, so you can just remove that flex contain here things. It depends on you, you can remove, because actually not needable anymore, but depends on you. Try to remove it and let's see what actually going to happen. So now we have one h2 tag, then I'm gonna generate one div, and here in the p tag I'm gonna define the price, and inside that price I will pass the amount, and the first amount which is going to be products dot raw price. Okay, and that raw price, let's give some class name on it. Put some class name which going to be text, going to be large text, font it gonna be normal, and also the text gray of 500, not 50, 500, and it gonna be line through. Okay, so it will just cut on that so that it will not be the prime price. Then we have another p tag, and inside here I'm gonna get the price again, and inside that price I'm gonna pass the amount, and that amount it's going to be like product info dot price. Okay, product info dot not the product info, sorry, it's product dot price. What's happening? Oops, it will be smaller letter, product dot price. Okay, so there is the 2 is done. Now we need to pass another variable which gonna say us that you saved, and I need to pass the amount, so it will be price, and inside that price we need to pass the amount, and from this item. Okay, so now here I will pass that amount, which going to be like product dot raw price minus product dot price. Okay, so let's see if it's working or not. We're gonna see so many things. Okay, this value is correct. Now in the top layer, put some class name, make flex, item center, and I'm gonna give a gap of 4. Okay, that looks cool. Now for that, okay, raw price is done. Now you can remove the p tag and give the, like, if I remove the p tag, and what if I put the class name in here in the price? It will work definitely. Put some class name, the text is going to be SM, or the text going to be LG, font going to be bold. Let's see if it's working or not, because it's a span tag, and you see that's just fine. Now you can put that, make a design here, so the class name, the text going to be a small text. And after passing the text here in the product, we can actually modify some style here. Class name bg going to be green of 700, and then text going to be white, and a padding in x-axis from the horizontal axis going to be 2, and rounded MD, just to highlight the price a bit, that how much they save. So you see, you save $20 from this item, so 75 minus 55 is 20. Now what else is gonna be there? We have the description and other properties. Now this is the second one, so we need to put another div, not actually in the div, we'll just put the p tag here. Okay, and now I'm gonna pass that product dot description, and this one we can just put a simple class name. Okay, class name, text going to be small text, and a tracking going to be white, and also the text gray of 600. And after that particular p tag, we're gonna have another p tag. It will be the first to leave a review. Now you can connect your review portion. It's very easy, because whenever I'm gonna use that to create that for the Stripe payment webhook, that time I'm going to show you how you can pass the data, pass any data, any post request to Sanity. Okay, so you just think something about it. Okay, so text SM, and again text gray of 500. Okay, so now I have these two particular things. Okay, now what else is going to be done? So I need to have a button here. Okay, that button going to be define so many things. It will be add to cart, and after that button, okay, let's style the button here, put some class name, and we'll give a full width, padding in Y it's going to be a 4, BJ it's gonna be prime color, hover BJ going to be a black, and duration I will pass that as 300, text going to be white, and text going to be LG, and then rounded should be MD. Okay, now let's see, we are having that button. Okay, hover effect is working perfect. Now we're gonna have another p tag, the last one, and now we're gonna pass an span tag where it's gonna be categories. Span is done. Now here I'm gonna pass some of the demo text later on. Actually you can pass the categories, or you can pass demo, it depends on you. I'll just not going to make it much more designable picture for you. You can just go through it in a normal way, or you can make it as beautiful as you want. So the font, it will be normal, text going to be small text, and for this parameter, for the span tag, the text going to be the base text and the font going to be medium. Okay, so as you see, our this portion is done. If we click, okay, that is changing. I think we can actually prefetch and create a loader here, because as you see, it's taking a bit of time to load the product. Just taking a little bit of time. I think my network is a little bit slower at night. As you see, it's taking the... Now, one homework for you. Whenever you click, you can just delete that products from here. Not the delete, just remove that product. You know how you can do it. So filter that product from there, from that array, and then inject only that particular 3 product. So you can do it, and if you are coming with a new product from the home page, it will just show all the products, all the available products here. Now, after that, we need to make one more thing, is that generating this particular section. So now, how we can do that? Now, we will do it in our Slack page, not here. So let's go back to the Slack page. Here, we're gonna generate that one after. Okay, we're gonna generate here. And to generate that one, we're gonna take it, we're gonna render actually the portable text from we need to install one of that. I think it's we will use the portable text React. Okay, so let's just get to install that package here. So git bash, and here it's going to be yarn. Okay, oh sorry, it's not that yarn. Okay, I need to pass that add command, otherwise it will not inject here. Oops, it will be add. So now it will install that dependency here. Now we're gonna pass that portable text to create that effect. Okay, so now let's make that okay, let's just give it a time to install that one. While it's installing, I will just take one more component to combine it here, which is going to be like rich text.tsx. Here we're gonna create that rich text components to combine that parameter. So now let's see if that portable text, okay, is appeared. And also for that value, we're gonna pass that value for that product dot body. Okay, let's say the same. And while we're saving, I believe we're gonna yeah, we will be able to see that things. So now why actually those things happening? Because we need to go out of that line, and you can see it will just go out of that particular things. So now this text is a raw design for the for the portable text, but we can design it like that. And how actually we're gonna do it? I'm gonna just go with a little bit of faster on that rich text portion. And here we can define that one in a very similar fashion. So in my previous video, I actually explained elaborately on that. You can go to see watch the previous one. But for this portion, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just make a hallmark, and then I'm gonna pass that value here. Okay. Instead of export default, or I can actually make export default here. And let's get the link. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain that one. Okay. No, it's not working in that way. Or better, I'm gonna create that function for you. So instead of rendering that, I'm gonna just create a function here which you're gonna export by default way. So export const, it will be rich text. Okay. So inside that rich text, now we're gonna pass the types. So first types, it will take my image. Now I need to pass the image value. So the image value, it's going to be any value. Okay. Now I will pass that parameter. Okay. So now what I need to do, I will return that image portion. Okay. So now what I did wrong, because that's the value I'm passing. So I'm passing any value here. Okay. Just let me debug it a bit. Okay, I was wrong to get the value in that way, because remember we are passing that value. So now we'll just inject again. So I need to pass the value here. I'm gonna passing the value, and that value can be any value. Okay, and now I will inject that parameter. So here I'm gonna return. I just need to return that parameter. I will need to import the image from there, and also I need to import the URL. Okay, now what actually you're gonna do, we're gonna passing that image. Remember that can be having an image or cannot be. Then I'm giving passing the image with height, and it can be a post image. So that's it. Now after the image, so I'm done with the image. Now I need to pass another things. If I have any list item, I will pass for that design for that list item. Okay, so let's import the React for the React children, and also need to get that icon. Okay, now this list icon going to generate this one. Okay, so the list icon design is here, which is going to the mapping from the children. And feel free to go with that text design parameter, and you can learn a bit from there when you are reading the documentation. And also I'm gonna generate some more properties for the number and the marks and other things. So that's it. Okay, now here what we have, it just passing the design parameter. Okay, so now if I have the number, it will give me that design, which is the order list, or for the unordered list it will passing that parameter. And if I have the h1, because I can have a block of a text, because that will contain from the Slack. And now that block, if I have the h1, it will give that design. If we have the h2 design, then h3, h4, and for the black code, that's the design. And for the mark, so it's basically passing the design parameter, nothing else. I'm just explaining what kind of design it gonna be. So now if I go back to my page, and if I pass the components, and I'll just pass the rich text, and you're gonna see the design parameter, it will execute here. Okay, just give it a bit of time. You see that design is done. Now what if I want to change the design? Let's go back to the h2 tag, where actually we'll change the h2, make the text as rate of 500. Let's see, I think this one is sorry, we make it in h1, so it will be in h2. Okay, you see that is straight. Now if you want to change the icon text, you can do it from here. I think that's the icon, so make it blue. Okay, blue 600. You see the icon is changed. So now it's depend on you how you want to change the properties. I think blue is good, so 600. Okay, with that we are done with our this page. So it's time to create our shop page. So this is the page actually is balanced for today. Then we're gonna go with that other properties. And for the shop, because we created lots of things of we actually also can create the page in client side. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We will create this entire page as client side, then we're gonna fetch the data from Nextjs. That also because beforehand we used to do that using use effect, we're fetching the data. And today we can also do it with Nextjs. Even there is a server side component possibilities there, but we will use in our old way. Okay, so now in the user, I will take a folder which is going to be named as a shop, and our folder is that okay, this folder shop. Okay, I think we created that one beforehand. Yeah, that's the shop. Okay, so it's there already. So if we go to the shop, we're gonna land in our particular shop page. Let's see. Yeah, shop page actually created beforehand. So I will pass that as a container. Okay, so that is passing as a container. Now you see that's a page, it's a server side. Not only the page, everything is rendered as a server side. Now there is an initial error is there. Each child in a list should have a unique key prop. You need to be very specific about that, because once you are going to deploy in Vercel, if you didn't pass any key parameter, it will stack you through that. You cannot deploy that without passing that key parameter, and the key parameter should be very unique. Okay, where what else we are using that? Okay, I think we're good to go. Yeah, we're good to go. If you are missing anywhere, just try to put that and it will be just fine. Okay, so now here in our page, okay, so what actually is going to be there? It's a simple page with two different things on the button, and then we're gonna render the product. If we click on that, it will give a list view. If we click on that, it's gonna give us the grid view. So let's create, so it will be within the two properties. So let's create these two properties. I'm gonna create a div, and not the div actually, I'm gonna create an h2 tag here, which is going to be all products. Okay, let's just put something here. The text going to be 2XL text, it will be the prime color, and also the font going to be bold. Let's go back to our initial page. Okay, looks cool. And here we're gonna have two button. Okay, so I'm gonna take it inside a div, or these two parameter going, I will take it in a div because later on I need to make it a flex. Okay, so now first thing first, for the first tip, I will pass an span tag, and inside that span tag I will pass that be as the icon name, it will be grid fill. Okay, that's the icon I will pass. Let's hit the save. Icon is available. So now here in this top layer, put a class name flex item center, justify between, and padding bottom of 10. Okay, you see that is appearing here. So now in that span tag, I'm gonna make some design, but before taking that design, I'm gonna take two parameter which gonna give us that grid portion and the list portion. So take two const which gonna be show grid and set show grid, which will be use state. By default it's going to be false. Okay, so I'm gonna just copy that one, and this value going to be list. Okay, so now I will combine the design, both value. First one I will just make it as true. Okay, just to show how the design actually going to be happening. Now you see what I told you, I will make this entire one as use client, because we're gonna use the hook directly. We're gonna inject the hook directly within our component, not the component within the page. And Nextjs, not, it will not give a blink. See, it's just working similar fashion. Okay, there is nothing, no error. You can use your old style, and then you can use also the server side things. It depends on you. You can do it as the things you want. Let's put some class name on it, and I'm gonna take that class name within the backtick because I'm gonna put a lot of things. So I will put that a condition if it will be in the $sign. If show grid is available and is not available, then if show grid available, then it will be one design. If it's not available, then it will be another design. Then what kind of design it will be? If show grid is available, BG it will be prime color, and also the text it's going to be white. If it's not available, then what it gonna be? I'm gonna put a border of 1 pixel. Okay, then border gray of, just make it a border gray of 300, and I will put the text as, it will be what the text you're gonna give. I'm gonna give a 737373, little bit a light of text. Okay, 73. Okay, so now that will be if it's available. Okay, let's see. So now it's available. Okay, you can see actually. Okay, where actually it had gone. Show grid is available. Okay, if show grid is available, we're gonna make it as wide. Okay, we need to also define the other properties. We're gonna give it width of 8, height of 8, and then we will make it a text of LG. We're gonna make it a flex item center, justify center, cursor pointer, and I'm gonna make it as okay, just that's it. Let's see if it's, yeah, it's appearing. You see the grid view is here right now. So now how actually it's gonna be projectile is okay, that's the design is here. Now we're gonna have the another one. Also we can pass one function here on click event so that we can actually see the designing parameter how it's work. So let's click an on click event. So in on click there would be two parameter, set show grid, which always going to be true whenever we click on that, and set show list going to be false if we click on that. So in that similar fashion, because we're gonna have two button, in the similar fashion I'm gonna generate the other button which gonna be list item. Okay, so I'm also going to import that one from React icons. Okay, so that's the similar one, just passing the condition in a different way. So now it will be pouring through the other one. You see both button, if we click, one active, one deactivated. Now in the top layer of that particular div, I'm gonna put some class name. Okay, class name, and we're gonna make a flex item center and the gap going to be 4. Okay, looks great. Now it's time to get our product. How actually you can get the product? We don't have any server-side properties. Don't worry about that. We can fetch the product too. Now what I'm gonna do is that create a helper function to get our products to be rendered. Remember, we have one like that Sanity client, right? So I will just go with that Sanity client, and then I will get the product from there, Sanity client. Now here I'm gonna pass something. I'm gonna pass a very interesting thing. I'm gonna pass a function from here. Okay, without grok, we will pass the grok here, so we don't need to worry about to running grok in a client side. So const export const, it will be a product query, and that query it's gonna take from the grok. It will be grok. Okay, so that grok we're gonna pass the backtick on it, then we're gonna inject our function here. So there not the in it will be, I think, yeah, I just misspelled something again. So the type it will be product. So we will take all the products we have, okay, and then it will just return all the products. So whatever the products we have, we want to show all together, and then we're gonna just order through it, and that order through it will go created at, and it will make it as descending. So now we can actually make that product query also. This query you can use to get the product. Now we will inject the function within it. So I'm just exporting it because you can use it, or we can use it later on, and export const. So now we will get the products, and that products it will be an async function because we're gonna get the call to server, and then const product data equal to await client.fetch, and it's gonna be that product query, and then we're gonna return that our product data. So whenever we call that function, it's gonna return that product data in any of the page I'm calling. So now here in our particular page, we're gonna call that right now. And how we will call that? First, we're gonna take an instances of effect state, which going to be product data, and set product data, and by default it will be use state, and here it will be an empty array. Now we will render that. And how we gonna do that? Use effect. We're gonna call that use effect. Okay, and also we will pass an array value there. And now here we're gonna create a try catch function. Okay, how we will do that? So first we're gonna make a function called fetch data. That will be a fetch data, and it will be again an assign call. Okay, and then we're gonna pass that products from that leave sanity. So now we're gonna have an error of that. Remember what actually is saying okay, that is not an error because we are creating the function, so we need to do in that way. Okay, so now we are calling that function. So to fetch the data, actually we made that mistake. This is not the function we should be creating in that way. It's my bad. So const it will be a fetch data, and it will be that async block, and here we're gonna pass that variable. Okay, that's how we're gonna create the function. So now we will make that try catch. Sometimes it's better to make mistakes, so you will have some fun that you know better than me, but it's very easy. Try, you're gonna learn something better whenever you are trying to finding someone's mistake or someone making mistake, and you just inject it. So now we're gonna get that const data equal to await, and we will await for the products. We already imported it, so it's just gonna return that. Now we will pass the, whenever we are going to get the products, we will get the product value, and from there we're gonna set product data, whatever the data we are receiving. And for here in the console, if we are receiving any of the error, we're gonna just pass that error. Okay, and in the below of that, we're gonna pass that fetch data function. Okay, so now if I just try to see what we are receiving in the console, we're gonna just make that to see that product data. Now you will not see anything here in the console. Remember, we made it as a client-side component, so we need to see it inside the client-side console. So let's open the console, and you're gonna see an empty array, so we are not receiving any of the product yet. Okay, let's roll back and come again. Let's see if it's giving us anything or not. Okay, in the shop, you see it's coming. So we got the call, we're having the products now. So now we can modify the products, we can render the products as the way we want, and how we want to render, that's the question. So now after below that div, we will render it here. So what I'm gonna show, if a show grid is available, then I'm gonna inject a div. It will be a div. And if it's not available, means the list view, it will be there. So I will also pass a div. Okay, now inside the div, I'm gonna pass the parameter value. So what I'm gonna do, it will be product data dot map, and that map I'm gonna pass the item, so it will be that product props, and I'm gonna just simply return my product. Remember, we are having that product, so we can return it here. So it will be product card, and that product card going to be injected with that. So the key, it will be item.id, and the product, so another props which going to be the product, it should be the item. Okay, so now we are having that product. So what's the problem with that product? Okay, missing key string a product. Product. So let's go back here. That's the product we are passing. So why actually is missing here? Okay, did you import that one? Okay, it's imported. So let's go back through it. Let's see what's the error we are getting in the console. Okay, any error? No error, and no product. Okay, yeah, we're getting the product. I think this error, maybe I will just hit a reload of my window. Maybe just a TypeScript error, sometimes it's getting, sometimes it's not. Yeah, that's not an error, it's just a problem for the type definition. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, as you see, I'm getting all the products, so I need to modify that product to see in a real-time fashion. So how we're gonna do it? If you're facing that problem with me about the TypeScript, just reload the window, it will just be fine. I'll give a width of full, and I will make it a grid, and the grid columns, it will be 1. Okay, by default it's gonna be 1. MD grid calls, it will be 2, and for the Excel devices, grid columns will be grid calls will be 4. Okay, and I'm gonna give a gap of 5. That's it. As you see, that looks good. I have all the products rendered here. Now if I click any of the products, yeah, it will take me to that particular thing because I'm rendering the products, right? Okay, what actually that property BG is missing? Remember, we are passing a property, background property, so we keep it as mandatory. I will just keep it if there is the background if you want to pass. Okay, otherwise don't worry about it. Okay, now we pass that list view. Now even though if I just try to copy these two portion, it's going to be the similar, but now I need to create a list product. Okay, so that's I will create, it will be product.tsx. So that's my list product. I'm gonna inject here. So now what I'm gonna do, instead of keeping that particular product, okay, I'll inject that also, and then I'm gonna pass that list product component. Okay, so now if I click here, you see list product is there. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get everything from that particular product, okay, because I'll just create that list view on that. So I'm gonna paste it here because this is the product value of beforehand, and I'm gonna take that property 2. So this 2 I'm gonna copy also. We're gonna just manipulate as much as we can, okay, value here. Then I'm gonna get everything from here because it's the same level, so it will not be an issue. Okay, now as you see, if I hit the save, I will get the same grid pattern. Okay, so now why is not giving the design parameter? Because remember, I didn't style it yet. So let's style. Let's go back to the page here, and then we will just style a bit. And here, how we want to style, we will just make it with a full and grid columns 1 and the gap of 5, because it will be in a grid view. So now grid view is created, and how actually we're gonna interlink with that grid view, and that is very simple. What I'm gonna do, in the top parameter we will change a lot of things. So this is the image view and the other view is here. So now here we made it okay, I will try to make it in a flex. Let's see, flex item center. Okay, let's see what actually is giving. Okay, flex item center, it's giving something at least. Okay, now after pouring that one, so that's the link here, and that's my div. Okay, in the div I will put some class name, okay, or because it's all depends on the styling here, so I don't want to actually waste a lot of time of defining that. You just go through it, and if you have any question, I will just okay, oops, I'll just copying that one from my previous build. Okay, because that function is going to be coming from the dispatch event, which we're gonna create later on. And the bridge, you know, so that bridge actually we didn't create it. So the product, if it's new, is available. How actually we define that? Let's see if the product new is available. We define something, yeah. So we're gonna pass that one, that value here. Okay, that's it. Let's see if it's working. Okay, that's it. It's just passing some props and parameters, nothing else. I'm just modifying the design, so feel free to go with the design, because if I just combining a lot of time here, you will feel boring, because it's only about the design parameter, which actually we did beforehand. Now, how much far we are leaving? If we click here, it's giving a grid view. If we click here, it's giving a list view. So I think we are now in a very good positioning here right now to come up with that. Now there is one more thing we need to create. We need to create the search portion, and also we need to modify any style through it. So we're gonna do it together with that state management, which we're gonna create with the Redux-Toolkit, and also for the authentication. I think that will be very simple. So if you are with me till now, you will be landed here, and you will be creating that position here. Okay, and if you don't want to do it by yourself, don't worry about it. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna just git add, and before adding that, again, I'm saying what I'm gonna do is that in env file, I'm gonna just remove my properties. Okay, I'm just gonna remove that value. Don't copy paste it, because I'm gonna change it after I'm publishing that. So git add dot, and then git commit, and then I'll just make that git push. So what is gonna happen, you're gonna have everything in your repo. Now within that repo, you're gonna have everything. If you clone that one, you will just get that data. So I think you can just come on that position, by following me. So we will do the rest from next build, and it will be a fantastic build. Trust me, it will be a very fantastic build. Also, we are integrating that authentication and the card and also the stripe. Okay, you see the UI is very sick and cool. Okay, so I hope okay, actually I closed the terminal. So again, here on dev, so I want to just show you something. What I suggest you, don't blindly follow whatever I am following through. You can modify that design, you can put some animation, you can put some different value on the design, right? That depends on you. Because for me, it's just a simple UI I created, which can help you to come in a very good landing position with me, right? Because my convention is to follow up through it with this, how to create a store and manipulate the store, how to create this type payment, how to use the webhooks to save the order data, how to amplify the sanity within your project, how can make the get request, which actually we are getting right now, and how we can actually make also the post request in Sanity. So that's what actually my pattern on that. So I'm gonna use a lot of time on it, except the search bar and this design. Then I'm gonna use my timing there. So you can modify the design, you can modify, you can change a lot of things if you want. And if you just don't want to start from the beginning, you can feel free to go there. Just, you know what you need to do, just copy and clone it and start working. So I think you can do it. We'll see you in next part.